Business editor Richard Southern joins us now. It's another big protectionist move by the White House. U.S. President Donald Trump says he's going to slap tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. And that has consequences here in Canada. Richard?
It certainly could. It could be quite a serious issue for the Canadian economy, and investors were certainly spooked by it today, Christina, as Trump spoke from the White House and investors sold stocks. Here's what the U.S. president had to say.
People have no idea how badly our country has been treated by other countries, by people representing us that didn't have a clue. Or if they did, then they should be ashamed of themselves, because they've destroyed the steel industry, they've destroyed the aluminum industry, and other industries, frankly. When you look at all the plants, the car plants, automobile plants, that moved down to Mexico for no reason whatsoever, except we didn't know what we were doing. So we're bringing it all back.
Trump imposing 25% tariffs on steel, 10% tariffs on aluminum. However, we don't know if Canada will be subject to the tariffs just yet, although Canada is the #1 supplier of steel and aluminum into the United States. Investors spooked by this. The Dow fell 420 points today. And Christina, it was a lot of the stocks that do cross-border trade that saw some of the biggest selling. The automakers, Magna International, the railway stocks, and indeed the technology stocks. Apple taking a hit on this. So a lot we don't know, but again, if this actually goes ahead, if Canada's subject to the tariffs, wouldn't be good news for the economy, Christina.
No, certainly wouldn't be. Many companies, though, are moving to distance themselves from the NRA since the Florida school shooting, including MEC here in Canada. But some prominent companies are pushing back against calls to cut gun ties.
Yeah, there's some that they're not budging on this. FedEx, top of the list. The parcel delivery service won't eliminate discounts for NRA members. Hotel Planner, a major hotel site in the States, will still allow NRA members to book discounted group rates. Its CEO says, quote, "It's just about the right thing to do for business to honor contracts we already have." Bass Pro Shops set to appear at NRA's national convention in May. The Hyatt Regency Hotel in Dallas will host that convention. It hasn't released a statement on this issue yet. Omni Hotels also set to host events for the NRA's convention in May, and Sirius XM, the satellite radio service, airs some NRA-related programming. Christina.
A new study out today finds U.S. gun-related deaths drop while one major event is going on.
Yeah,
Richard.
what happened? It's when the NRA convention, speaking of which, is on. Gun-related injuries drop 20% nationwide across the states when the NRA holds their convention, according to a new study in the New England Journal of Medicine. Gun injury rates in areas close to the conventions down about 50%. The authors say the fact that you see this is likely because gun users are at the convention, or the venues where they might use their guns are closed because of the convention. Christina, it casts doubt on the idea that gun injuries occur because of inexperienced users. Interesting food for thought there.
Very interesting food for thought. And if you're heading to the Eaton Centre, well, there's going to be some new big additions planned there. But this time, not retail, Richard. A big bank is moving in.
Yeah, interesting. And we were looking at this a bit earlier in the show. It's the Bank of Montreal set to build a big office building close to the Eaton Centre, the southwest corner of Yonge Dundas. Going to be above the current Nordstrom store there. 300,000 square feet is what the size of it, and they're going to host more than 3,000 of their employees there. BMO describing this as a workplace of the future with advanced technologies, a collaborative workspace, and of course it has direct access to the subway and the path, so workers can get to BMO's main head office down at First Canadian Place. And interesting news there, it was the old headquarters, Christina, of Sears Canada, so it was left vacant after, of course, Sears went belly up.
Nice. A major booze brand making a big move towards gender equality.
Yeah, it's Johnny Walker coming out with a new bottle that has Jane Walker on it. No Johnny, but Jane this time. Yes, a push towards gender equality, but also a push by Diageo, the parent company of this beverage, to maybe draw more women into this scotch, which does happen to be the world's best-selling scotch. And Diageo isn't alone in putting a female face on a traditional male mascot. Kentucky Fried Chicken recently did the same, having Reba McEntire play its Colonel Sanders character. Christina.
Well, speaking of KFC, first we've got that major shortage of chicken that forced hundreds hundreds of UK KFCs to close. Now another devastating shortage has the chain scrambling.
Very devastating. It's a gravy shortage that is affecting UK KFC outlets. Oh my, say it ain't so. The gravy shortage, the result of a supply chain issue, much the same as what happened with the chicken over there. Of course, KFC scrambling to play damage control, releasing a statement saying, quote, "We're working as hard as we can to get this sorted out. We know our gravy is a big favorite." Many KFC fans taking to Twitter to complain. Nobody's called the police. Remember last week when they had the chicken shortage, some people in the UK actually called the 999 emergency number over there, Christina, to complain about the lack of chicken.
See, I don't know if I'd call the police for the lack of gravy, but if it's chalet sauce, now that would get me.
Now, that's a polarizing issue, but I'm with you on the chalet sauce, absolutely.